Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You are watching the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Monday, December 22nd, 2025, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Please make sure to subscribe before you leave today's episode for other great shows, live sports, and of course to get reminded of this show's upcoming episodes. On today's awesome show, we're going to get to our NLL Week 4 reactions. 4 teams won in 3 pretty low-scoring games besides the Rochester-Philly game, which had a little bit of everything, including a goalie fight that went viral in more ways than one. A summer schedule. Is that a way to fix the attendances? I'll address that. And our 3 stars of the weekend. Before we get started, I want to let you know this show is presented by the Event Tickets tab at natalkradio.com. Head over to the North American Talk Radio website and click that tab. When you get there, you'll be taken to Vivid Seats. Just type in your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team. And you don't have to just go to the NLL events. You can go to your local sporting events, local events in general, theater, Broadway, etc. Again, natalkradio.com. Click the Event Tickets tab today. We want to also let you know that Captain has hit another ladder, his 3rd so far, and I believe first while airing his picks on the show. So Captain deserves a round of applause. The ladder is, of course, presented by Elevated Truck and Crane. He turned $50 into $902 on a safe ladder. Remember that rush minus 200 on the money line? That built all the way up to $900. We appreciate Captain for his services. If you do gamble, and please do so responsibly, he gives picks on the show. That's so awesome. We're proud of him. Alrighty, so the first game that took place on Friday night on TSN, the Vancouver Warriors defeated the Oshawa Firewolves by a score of 8-6. There were 4,852 people in attendance, and of course, our very own Captain was at the game as well. In fact, in this game, Oshawa did lead by a score of 4-1, and even 5-2, and even their shot selection looked better. Doug Jameson looked great. But Christian Del Bianco was great when it mattered. And the Vancouver Warriors, again, only needing 8 goals, they did find a way to overcome and hold off Oshawa. Oshawa went on another very long scoring drought, and it was not a very good look once again. I know our own Captain has told me, I think he said this publicly, I could be wrong, but he believes Vancouver's offense is not that great right now, but of course their defense combined with Oshawa's offense was actually the best part about this game. But again, Vancouver gets a win. They improve to 2-1. Oshawa is now a very dangerous 1-3. I believe last year, and I could be wrong, I think last year Albany/Oshawa started very slow. Let me get to those games. Yeah, they started 1-5 last year. In fact, by the time December 28th rolled around, they were 1-3. Again, starting fast with all the games they have on their schedule, but once again, starting slow. That's a concern right now for the Firewolves. I mean, I said it last week, I believe on Wednesday and Thursday's show. Oshawa is going to feel like the sky is falling. And right now at 1-3, it feels like that. But I also said last week, I feel like I'd rather have a great goaltender with a bad offense than a great offense with no goaltender at all. So let's look at a question that our very own captain posed to Glenn Clark after the game and see if he thought, if Glenn Clark thinks that Doug Jamieson playing well and standing on his head is good for the offense moving forward.
His head is the boys, are they using that as motivation? He dominated in every aspect. Dougie's back there standing on his head. Is the boys, are they using that as motivation to get that offense going with Dougie, performing better than average for stat-wise?
I mean, they appreciate it. They understand what he's doing. I mean, I think they're living in their own little world a little bit because they're feeling the pressure, right? I mean, we've had 4 games under really like 8 goals, under 10 certainly, and you're 1-4, that's a bit of an anomaly in this league. So we just, they're feeling it. For whatever reason, the balls aren't dropping. We've played some good goaltenders, we've played some good defense, but you can't rely on that as an excuse. So, I mean, we're going to forge ahead. We're going to keep going after it, but it's been pretty puzzling to this point.
We want to thank Captain. There is more stuff coming from that game that I'll air as well. But I just thought, I know that Pat Gregoire told us on Friday that he had talked to Glenn Clark and others, and they thought like they were not sugarcoating things. And that's pretty much what that sounds like. Again, Doug Jamieson's playing great. The offense did get some really good looks, but it's like it didn't really matter in the end. Like Glenn Clark said, the shots are just not falling. He said in another part of that interview that was not asked by Cap, but some other media people, he was saying they just need the shots to fall. Like in this game, like Kyle Jackson had been released. They put Cash Chalk up to the offense. They signed another guy, and it was like it looked good. But again, if shots aren't falling, it's not a great look. So it's kind of stings from Glenn Clark's perspective, I'm sure. But I said it before, guys, Doug Jamieson sitting on his head is a very massive deal. And I do think, like Glenn Clark did say, even if it was him not making excuses, I'll make some again. They have played some pretty stinking good defenses up to this point. And I do think that matters. The question is, can they overcome a 1-3 start in a unified standings type of league? I don't know. But what I do know is that their offense looked better despite a loss. Now, Oshawa's upcoming schedule is versus Ottawa. That's a winnable game, but Halifax is another one. At Saskatchewan, at Colorado, 3 again games that are just like a pain in the butt like offensively, considering they have great goaltending and defenses with Warren Hill playing out of his mind, Chiliano in the Rush, and Dylan Ward in the Mammoth. But you got Las Vegas and then at Toronto, San Diego. The road does not get easier, and it shouldn't. This is the National Lacrosse League. That's what happens. Like, this is a man's league. But it's concerning. Captain says, I didn't see anything special Friday from Vancouver's offense time. Yeah, like he said, it wasn't great. And it's not great. Keegan Ball, Curtis Dixon, Marcus Clearance, those guys should be scoring 15 a game. And right now, they're not. Robert says he looks pissed off, and I agree. And then here is another one. First of all, here is footage from the teddy bear toss that Captain got. Here's Captain throwing a teddy bear. That's right, but he let the teddies hit the floor. And here is Glenn Clark on the fans and the teddy bear toss after the game.
On a lighter note, 4,500 fans here tonight in a pretty big teddy bear toss. Waited a little bit longer than they expected, but how did that make the boys feel, seeing the fans kind of stay loud till the end and support all the way through?
Yeah, I mean it's great for a lot of things. Certainly great for the players, but it's great for the community too. I mean, there is that excitement. We didn't give them the result they wanted to, but the game is compelling. The game is fast. The game is exciting. The game is entertaining. So you're never coming away from an NLL game not entertained and not excited. And it was a good lacrosse game. And we ultimately didn't find success, but I think the community support is going to be great. And we're in this for the long build. So 2 games does not an imprint make. So it's been a good start, and we want to just keep building on it.
I love how Captain prefaced that with on a lighter note, because the guys asking questions throughout that entire thing were stuff like, oh, this offense sucked. This guy wasn't playing well. And Captain was like, on a lighter note, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So like I said, Oshawa had 4,852 people in attendance, which is pretty good, pretty packed once again for them, for that barn size. I'm not justifying 4,800 fans, just like I won't do 5,000 fans for Henderson with the Desert Dogs, but for their barn size, that's what they have available, and fans are packing that barn. So good for them. Adam Levy says from January 11th to March 12th, Oshawa plays 1 home game, San Diego. They need home wins versus Halifax and Ottawa. I agree with that. Like I said, the next game they play, I believe it's, Ottawa, and then Halifax. So after that, like you're in trouble. Even the Halifax game is not a gimme. And if Ottawa's offense can show up, then that game's not a gimme. And again, no game in this league is a gimme. But man, will it feel better if you can at least beat one, if not both, of those teams. The 1,000-yard stare answering questions. Yeah, it's true. Light in the mood. Good for you, Captain. Media pass, baby. That's what we do here. Boots on the ground. Just need other barns to open up the boots. I know myself. George has let me in. Oshawa's been good to us. It's got a little work on the other people, But yeah, it was fun. So, and more commenters here. Here the Firewolves are gassing the coaches and Patty Gregoire. What the heck? Okay, Mimico, this guy. Hey, welcome back, Mimico, by the way. But yeah, interesting game from Oshawa, to say the least. Vancouver gets a win, as they should have. They are the better team preseason and right now, so good for Vancouver. But Oshawa needs to find some offense, even though, again, it did look better. Next game is going to be Rochester and Philadelphia. I am not going to play the goalie fight because, honest to God, that's copyrighted and we are monetized, so we cannot do that. But there was a goalie fight on top of the fact that Rochester did win this game against the Wings by a score of 15-11. In this game, 4,800 people were in the barn for the first ever game that was hosted since they got bought by Seneca Nation. Connor Fields had 5 goals and 5 primary assists. Ryan Lynchbury had 7 dimes, including 3 primary. Jake Bassino had a hat trick. My goodness. Nick Routledge was 23-8 on faceoffs against Kai the goalie's hero, Jeremy Thompson. I'm sorry. Brandon O'Neill had 1 goal, 4 primary assists, 10 loosies for the Wings. Dustin Burkhoff had 2 goals, his first 2 goals of his career, as did Sam LeClaire, Eric Fennell, and Joe Rez. But again, the story of this game is no longer Rochester getting a big game. It was the goalie fights. Shout out to Dana Restia, OTCB, NLL, and more who got viral on this stuff. Dana Restia had like 3,000 likes last time I checked. World Hockey Report got like 1,300 likes. OTCB, our friends Teddy and Pat were the first ones to post the fights. They got a few hundred likes on that. NLL posted, like I said, Dana Ressi was the big one there. I loved it. I don't know why this game went to hell. Like literally watching it, I know that Rochester have a 15-9 lead, but I can't remember. I've not watched it back yet. I can't remember though why those fights started happening. I know at the very end the game got rough, and I was like, that's weird. Like, where'd that come from? And then Rowan Hartley and Nick Demude out of nowhere. Hartley's second goalie fight, by the way, and he landed some haymakers, man. Just electric stuff from Hartley and Dane Moon. I also want to address another thing. And I'm not going to get so mad at these people because they don't know about the sport. And if they learn through fights, so be it. But so many hockey people are like, oh, this looks dumb. Like, I see the memes are funny with like them taking off it's funny. I get it. They're in big goalie gear. I think it's ultimately good for the sport. But so many people were in arguments about why it's good or not good. Guys, as NLL people who watch this show, I'm not going to do the whole, hey, buddy, you're a jerk. Nah, just tell them why it's good. Tell them why it's awesome. And let them figure it out for themselves. I saw a few people, fellow media members, just arguing with people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're a new fan of the sport or if that's their first time ever seeing it, they're like, what is this? It looks weird. But it's awesome. And they're obviously commenting about it. So what I'm doing with my platform, the last few replies I've given on Twitter, has been, hey, this stuff has been allowed for 40 years in the NLL. This is an awesome version of lacrosse. You got to watch it. Tell them where to watch it and watch the game grow. ESPN giving me a notification that there was a lacrosse fight was, again, awesome. And I do hope that box lacrosse is known for more than just fighting. But if that's what takes us over the top, sure. It's like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. I've said this a million times. Caitlin Clark, not the best player right now, even though she's very impactful. But she hits the circus at threes. She has the great passing. She is box office. Chase Fraser, not the best player, makes the trick shots that gets on Pat McAfee's show. Elijah Gash, not the best defender, makes the big KO. Rylan Hartley, Nick DeMude, not the best goalies. They're selling. So embrace this moment. So many comments here. CLS is sure Oshawa is a great lacrosse market. Fans know lacrosse. Now what happens when they have a low losing team? I don't know. Captain says, I hope attendance stays high. They have lots of good lacrosse meetings to draw from. Kai the goalie says, bro, when I talk about Jeremy Thompson. Robert saying that was a dang good game. I wonder if he's talking about the Philadelphia game that I'm getting to right now. Good Lord, we're getting so many people commenting about the attendance in that last game, including Adam Levy again. Yeah, no, the 4,800 is better than 6,000, by the way. It's better than like 4,000. So, Kyler Goalies is TLA. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, I have noticed this year that Lacrosse Network has posted more NLL. I don't know when that started happening, but last year they did not. So I'm very happy about that. God, so many people. Woof. Keep the comments. Oh, okay. Loose mesh of the boarding column McConvey. I do remember that. Yeah, a little bit Mickey Mouse. That's true. No, yeah. The TLN only posted. That's a good point. But again, Kai is right. The Lacrosse Network. And then, by the way, again, Fox/CLL, I will say this. That TLN has posted more than just fights this year. Again, I don't know what changed, but this year I have noticed they posted a lot more about the NLL. And as Kai said, they do have a bigger platform than the NLL, at least in terms of social media. So good for them. Happy for them. But again, in this game, the Wings, just no defense, kind of what it came down to. And of course, Rochester's offense is ridiculous. Can you imagine if Oshawa had Rochester's offense? But again, if my grandmother had she my grandfather, whatever. Who cares? But yeah, Rochester's a good win for them. Saskatchewan took down Georgia by a score of 7-4. 4,600 was a record low for Saskatchewan. I will touch that in the next segment on, like, because I know it's a winter storm. We'll get to that. 11 goals combined was the tied for lowest in NLL history. Jake Naso was 12 of 15 on faceoffs, good for friend of the program, Jake Naso. Robert Church had 4 primary assists despite scoring no goals. Mike Messenger had 3 blocked shots. And by the way, so while Georgia did drop to 1-2, Saskatchewan improved to 2-1. I will say the Swarm have looked very competitive this year defensively. Brett Dobson had another good game, in my opinion. But I just wanted to mention here, Lyle Thompson caught a little bit of flack, and I have told you guys for a few years now, this guy is nowhere near the best player. Because I know for years Lyle Thompson might have been the best player in the NLL. That has not been true since I started the show, and I wish people would stop saying he is, because the standard for Lyle Thompson is too high right now. And him taking only 7 shots on goal, yeah, well, he also took 7 shots off the goal. So it's 14 total shots, excuse me, for Lyle Thompson. I can't breathe. 14 total shots for Lyle Thompson. And it's not for a lack of trying, but the Rush's defense is known for shutting down stars. Like Jake Boudreau and who's the other one? Matt Hosick, Mike Messenger, those guys have historically shut down Lyle Thompson, at least in recent years. So I do think we have to mention that. And I do think Lyle is allowing the young guys to shoot. Shane Jackson's taking a lot of shots so far. So before we crap on Lyle Thompson, I just want to say once again, he has not been the best player for at least 3 years. And I've told you guys that. It was a hot take 3 years ago. I told you guys it's been the same person. He's barely even cracked 100 points. Like, what are we doing here? So Lyle Thompson, still a very, very good player, but no longer the best player in the NLL. So, and again, I think he's letting the other guys step up. Good for him. And the Rush are also a great defense. Jeff Teat turning into Jesus does not change that. So again, I just want to give a little caveat to the Lyle Thompson haters. But yeah, Rush get a big win, despite the fact that only 4,657 people showed up, which again we'll get to in the next segment. 8 more comments here, actually. Good gracious almighty, you guys are great. All right, Cup. We're having a debate in the comments about attendance. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Kai. But he, again, expecting Lyle Thompson to be great anymore is just too high of a standard. I don't. Well, I mean, 4th ultimate goals is like good for Curtis Dix. I mean, he also only had 1 goal. Good for Curtis, but it is what it is. Because he barely even contributed in that game. Even though he did have a nice Superman goal. Curtis Dixon did, and he did have some good plays. But Curtis Dixon's been very slow to start. But again, 4th all-time goals for Curtis Dixon. Good for him. I don't even think did the broadcast even mention that? I can't remember. Yeah, no, no. Andrew Q was not good last year. If you look at the stats, Andrew Q was not great. I have called Andrew Q Captain Clutch, but he was not good last year, just besides those occasional clutch moments. So I think Colorado can have him. Good for them. Andrew Q's never been Andrew Q's a good player, but he has never been a difference maker for the Swarm besides a couple clutch goals. Like, we got to stop that. I mean, again, the clutch thing doesn't matter right now because Swarm are still not been great. So him having a few clutch moments does not mean he is the difference in a winning team. I think I'm glad they moved on. Yeah, no, the Superman goal was great for Curtis Dixon. All right, moving on. we're going to go to the Desert Dogs and the Black Bears. Las Vegas gets a win by a score of 10-9 in front of 5,200 people almost. Las Vegas actually led this game 9-1 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half. But Ottawa was able to rally back and tie the game 9-9 in the fourth quarter. Mitch Jones, with 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game, did complete his hat trick, along with 3 primary assists. So the Desert Dogs got the win by the score of 10-9, as I mentioned. Vegas improves to 1-1. Ottawa drops to 1-2. Chase Fraser had 2 goals, 2 primary assists in his team debut. Tyrell Hammer-Jackson won 12 faceoffs. Jay Thornbear won just 10. Jeff Teat had 1 goal on 29 total shots. So good for the Landon Kells, who had 48 monster saves. Another thing that I think is going to go under the radar in this game was the fact that the Desert Dogs had 12 block shots. So while Landon Kells was awesome with his 48 saves, the 12 block shots were amazing, especially late in this game. I know Rob Hellier had a few blocked. I'm sure Jeff Teague did as well. But shout out to the Desert Dogs defense by getting in the way. 12 block shots was the most this weekend. Good for them. But again, it helped out Landon Kells, who again had 48 saves. He will be on our 3 stars of the weekend. All right, when we come back to the show, I'm going to address the attendance concerns in the NLL. I agree, Kai. Keep the chats coming. But coming up next, I'm going to talk about the attendances and why a summer schedule, I don't know if it fixes anything yet. We'll be right back with Dilly Dive. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Happy holidays from Jeff Beck Health and Wellness. And you're seeing this on North American Talk Radio because the network is near and dear to my heart, kind of a passion project. I'm hoping you're having a great holiday season. Hopefully it's not too cold where you're at. The snow has melted here in Ohio. You can see in the background. But I wanted to extend a warm welcome and let you know that, if you're dealing with weight management, behavioral change, stress, depression, relationship issues, I am a certified health and wellness counselor trained via Cornell and Yale, and I am a nutritional coach trained via the NASM. And I would love to extend an opportunity for you to reach out. JeffBeckWellness.com is my website, or JeffBeck101021@gmail.com is my email. We're offering a free initial consultation, no charge to you. Once we go into full counseling, I can help you submit that to your insurance company or your employer. Many employers reimburse for these types of services. So, we all deal with things from time to time. Please reach out, JeffBeckWellness.com, or email me, JeffBeck101021@gmail. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying the current programming you're watching on North American Talk Radio. Keep your head up. Be friendly. Be happy. And again, I hope it's a great winter for you and a great holiday season. Take care.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, here on this Monday, December 22nd, 2025. We just got to NLL Week 4 reactions. The goalie fights was absolutely crazy, and so many people are talking about lacrosse on Twitter right now, and it's really cool to see. This one guy said it's just hockey for people who can't skate. And again, I understand that people do not know what this sport is, but my, of course, argument to hockey is 75% of the time the puck gets lost. It is what it is. People are going to hate until they realize what they're watching, and they're going to love it. Box Lacrosse Time shirt and mug is on our store. Head to Daily Dive LAX on Instagram to click the link in the bio. Twitter, you can find the link on there as well, Daily Dive Store. We appreciate you for your awesome, what is it? Faith, not faith. For awesome, whatever. For your participation is what? Forget it. Who cares? All right, let's move on to the summer schedule. And the reason this comes up is because Saskatchewan had a record low 4,657 people in the barn at the SaskTel Center. Now, I reported that was going to happen before the game. It was, word got to me. I was like, oh no, that's not good. I was not predicting it. I'm just telling you what I heard. And people were like, oh, well, how do you, like, guys, that's what people told me. That's what I said. That's what it is. All right. Now, once again, the excuses are absolutely insanity. We were told by Teddy Jenner, I believe Dawson Nielsen chimed in as well, the winter storm. Guys, Canadians don't give an SHIT about a winter storm. Have you ever seen, just looked in the stands of a hockey game? Ever? Have you ever done that? Have you ever wondered why hockey does not have the problem of an MLS playoff game or a beauty pageant or traffic? Who cares, man? Who cares? What a sorry excuse for people to keep on looking at these NLL barns with no one showing up, and people say, oh, well, the winter. Who cares? Honest to God, who cares? It's ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? That sounds such a cop-out. Winter storm. Guys, what are we doing? Ottawa attendance is awful because their ownership is dreadful and does not care. Saskatchewan fans have been on a trajectory of not showing up. It's not the winter storm. Stop excusing people not showing up. It's ridiculous, man. I believe some people have said, actually, Saskatchewan has raised their prices. That is a very valid point, and that's on the Rush ownership group for doing that crap. But it's stupid, man. Hockey games cost way more, and they pack the barns out 15,000 on average. What are we doing, man? Stop with the excuses. I say that to get to this point. I am like 90% on board with the summer schedule. There's two problems with that, though. Number one, it's not happening for another 3 years at the least. At the least. The amount of moving you'd have to do, it's not going to happen in the next 3, I'll say at least 5 years. This CBA just got done. We're not moving the schedule anytime soon. That's been talked about for years. It's not happening yet. So we have to figure out why the crap these teams can't market now. because they should be able to. The Rush were just in the finals, and 4,600 people show up. It's not acceptable, man. I don't think summer, because again, if we're using these excuses now, what if in summer we have a down game? What? We can't keep saying this crap. The same owners are still going to be the owners in the summertime. So while I do agree, it's not smart to compete with NBA, NHL, NFL, and now the MLS. It's not smart. I agree. But these owners are still atrocious. And while it might help, it's not going to solve our issues. Marketing of this sport is not good. And until people in these arenas and people in the league can learn to market better, it's not going to ultimately solve everything. It helps, which is why I'm 90% on board, but we have to stop with the lame excuses. I'm not saying it's not safe to drive. I get it. I understand. But Canadians make it to hockey games and all kinds of games, and they don't hear a word. So why does the NLL have to lean on that? It's stupid. This sport is too good. These athletes are too amazing. For us to keep saying winter storm or junior A, who cares, man? Show up. Show up. But we got to stop. Long Island was a lacrosse hotbed. Lacrosse hotbed. And suddenly, when the Riptide and their crappy ownership couldn't figure it out, it was, oh, it's a field lacrosse. No one said field until the NLL couldn't figure it out. Stop with the excuses. Market. I said before, I thought Albany was doing a good job. Why not? Then, yeah, move to Oshawa. I hope the marketing team keeps it up. Buffalo does a good job marketing. I love it. They have to market. They're not doing it right now. Bunch of comments here. I figured that fire you guys up. Crash Out Karvelis is back. Not buying a captain. Tell that to the hockey fans. Crash Out Karvelis. Okay, what do we mean? Can someone tell me the historic low attendance for the Maple Leafs? Because so many people told me the Ottawa Senators get no fans. They actually said that to me. And if you look it up, no, they get low fans compared to the NHL. But 15,000 a night is way better than 4,000 for the Black Bears. So a Maple Leafs historic low attendance has nothing to do with the NLL. Because they're probably still getting 10, 12, 15,000. Come on, man. I don't know. Come on now. That's crazy about low tickets. Wow, so many comments here. Marketing is brutal. They be showing up on dog sleds for a hockey game. It is what it is. And again, hockey games are also more expensive. And the fact that the NLL fan base or other people, well, it's not even the fan base, other than some fans do it. Some of the media are like, oh, a winter storm. Bro, who cares? Y'all are Canadians, man. Y'all show up to every game, but not the NLL. And again, I do think Saskatchewan is part of the issue here. So again, my point is not to harp on fans or media. Well, I wish we'd stop giving excuses. I want us to realize the issues. That's what I'm worried about. When we go to summer, is it going to actually help? I don't know. There you go. 18,000 per game. So again, their record low that people talked about earlier is like maybe 12,000. Like, I would love to have 12,000 for the Rock game. Didn't happen, did it? So there you go. Again, I think summer is going to work when it does happen. But I think for now, there's so much more issues the NLL has to address, like their own marketing, like the team's marketing, like we still have no merchandise, Kurt Hunziker. I don't know if that's ever going to happen at this point. I've given up on that train, but it is what it is, man. Oh, man. On a lighter note, shout out, Captain. We're going to talk about 3 stars when I come back after a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. I know you won't.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. On today's show so far, we have talked about my NLL Week 4 reactions, including big wins by Vancouver, Rochester, Las Vegas, and Saskatchewan. Poor offense by Oshawa. Ottawa goes on another offensive lull themselves. The goalie fight in Rochester, which was amazing. And of course, the Desert Dogs, Landon Kells stepping up in a big way. I think the Swarm have also looked better. Despite their lack of offense, their defense has been much improved this year. Summer schedule, I do think it'll work out. I just hope we stop. I hope that we get the core marketing figured out first. CLL makes a great point. Hockey fans equals lacrosse fans, which means they're choosing to watch hockey in the winter and might come to a lacrosse game playing the summer. The choice is gone. Absolutely agree with that. Adam Levy's chimed in, kind of the goalie captain, a bunch of other people. Thank you so much for your comments. Now it's time to get to our 3 stars of the weekend. Reminder to get your Box Lacrosse Time mug at the Daily Dive merch store. Okay, folks, here we go. 3 stars of the weekend. Our 3rd star is going to be Christian Del Bianco. This is the 3rd time Christian Del Bianco has been on 3 stars. He had 48 saves against Oshawa and made sure that their offense did not get going, despite some amazing looks that they did have. 48 saves, 2 loose balls, because he does very good at covering up after he makes a save. Good for him. 88.89 save percentage. Pretty stinking awesome. Our 2nd star is going to go to another goalie, Landon Kells, who had 48 saves and 84.21 save percentage. He allowed just 9 goals as Ottawa tried to make a comeback, but he did shut the door because Ottawa could have very easily taken the lead. So Landon Kells combined with Mitch Jones in the block shots, that adds up to a Landon Kells 2nd star. Landon Kells is the 8th player to reach 10 star points on my list. Now, again, this is if the 3rd star equals 1 point, 2nd star equals 2 points, 1st star equals 3 points. Landon Kells now has 10 career points. Again, the 8th player to do so. And finally, the first ever player to win 4 first-star awards in my history, Connor Fields wins it again this week. 5 goals, 5 primary assists, including another secondary assist, 5 loose balls. Great job for Connor Fields. He is the first player to reach 20 career star points. Again, Christian Del Bianco with his 48 saves, Landon Kells with his 48 saves, and Connor Fields with his 5 goals, 5 primary assists, and 5 loose balls. Shout out to those players who were amazing once again. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, head over to dailydive.lex@gmail.com and email the show, or of course for business inquiries. Follow us on social media at dailydive.lax. Of course, we want to thank our team members like Captain, like Leroy, like Hunter, and myself, and of course the great people at North American Talk Radio. Follow us all at dailydive.lax and more to help support the brand. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. This has been Daily Dive. Bye.